Hello, my name is Nicholas Young, and I want to talk to you about spirituality and the passing of knowledge to the next generation in the context of the Native Alaskan people. So I found that over the course of the class, what I connected with the most was the spiritual aspects. I've always been a Christian, but over the past few years, I've grown far more spiritually connected than I ever was before. It's been a huge journey, specifically emotionally, and so seeing the Alaskan people's connection to the land and to nature really resonated with me. And I picked out this quote from one of the videos in our class. "Nature is not governed by God. Nature is God." I saw a great amount of respect and reverence for everything that is given to them by nature in the sense of what I think I'd call interconnectedness. I think that reflects how I see the world as well, even if our views aren't the same, that it's all interconnected. Something that I do wonder about is this perception that we have of some older folks maybe being a bit more emotionally closed off, I think. I can't really think of an exact example right now, but I think it comes down to the sort of man-up attitude that I'm referring to. And to be clear, I wouldn't claim that all older people or that all Native Alaskan people at all fall into this, but I do think it's a pattern that I've just seen through my lived experiences. But, with that being set up, this is kind of the actual question I'm getting at. Why is it that some people who are so deeply spiritually connected to nature, the land, and to God, if they believe in Him, would act so callously towards some? I get this sense of whiplash at times, seeing this deep connection and emotional openness, and then seeing the reality of how they may treat each other, how we may treat each other. And of course, these very well may not be the same people. It all just feels maybe a bit incongruent to me, and it's something that I spend some time thinking about. I notice it with my own faith and other people within my own faith. I did also find the connection to their native languages quite fascinating, though. It showed me how much deeper language is than just a means of communication. I pulled out this quote. "If you look at communities where the language is mostly lost, you see a lot more social problems, suicide, sexual assault, and substance abuse." This all makes me think about my experience being an exchange student in Japan. I spoke Japanese, though not fluent exactly. They did understand me, but there wasn't the same level of connection compared to me speaking with someone in English. I think it can be hard for me to fully understand sometimes how important being in touch with their native language is for the Native Alaskans, because it's very difficult for them to find speakers of their own language. See, in this video, they pointed out how most of the people remaining who can speak those languages are much older folks, often over 50 years old. They speak the language natively, and so when they speak with someone in English, it won't carry quite the same emotional weight as in their native language. I think the way that I can connect it to myself is that their everyday experience of general connection with people is probably something like what I experienced myself communicating in Japan, just not quite having that same level of depth. A question I would have for them is about their relationship with their children and their families. Given that many children of immigrants don't connect with their culture or their language, I would imagine a similar thing happens with some of the Native Alaskans. I know I've seen it firsthand with some of my friends and their families. I wonder if it harms their ability to connect with their kids and grandkids. I guess another point would be how it affects their ability to pass down some of this knowledge and wisdom that they've accumulated through their life and from their more traditional background, something that could get lost. Now, my own journey to gaining some maturity, though I still have a long way to go, I've come to this crushing realization that as a teenager, I was actually, in fact, dumb. I really didn't want to accept that when I was that age, though I'm only 23 now. But I have come to realize that my parents were actually right about many things. Not everything, though. What I do see in the Native Alaskans is this idea of traditional knowledge that's passed down to the future generations for their benefit and preservation. I think I kind of connect that back to my experiences with my parents, being able to say like, okay, you know what, they were right about these things. These were things that they were trying, that they had learned through their experiences that they were passing down to me. I mentioned it partially in regards to languages earlier, But I think that barrier and the cultural changes when integrating more closely with Western society can make passing on this traditional knowledge much harder. It can also lead us to devalue it at times. Earlier in this course, we touched on it briefly. This idea that the words we use and the way we frame indigenous cultures can lead us to framing them as outdated or belonging to a different time. For example, the word artifact. Just using it for items that are still very relevant in certain societies and cultures today. I think that what that does is it colors our perception of the people themselves and their own forms of knowledge. If we searched our memories really hard, we could actually see someone we know in those brilliant, wise winter eyes. This quote is in the context of us devaluing animals and their own forms of traditional knowledge. But I believe it can apply to us just as humans as well. Certainly in our past as a country, we viewed indigenous people in less than ideal light, sometimes in the same way as animals. I think it's an important reminder to me to be as open-minded as I can be in trying to understand others and their culture. It does make me curious, though, what they think of how their children may have changed being brought up in or around Western society. I think that would play into the relationship aspect as well when we look at parents passing down advice to their children. I'd like to thank you for listening. This is the end.